What if I told you that inside your body right now lies the code to stay young, not just in spirit, but in biology, that aging, fatigue, and stubborn fat aren't the price we pay for growing older, but the result of dormant systems waiting to be switched back on? What if everything we've been taught about aging was incomplete? What if getting older wasn't a slow decline, but rather a reversible process, a system we can influence, just like we can influence our sleep, our nutrition, or our mindset? Imagine for a moment waking up each day with the same energy, focus, and metabolic rhythm you had 20 years ago. It sounds almost impossible, but the truth is the science of aging has changed more in the last decade than in all of human history. Before it, we are beginning to understand that aging isn't a destiny, it's a code, and that code astonishingly can be rewritten. When you look around, you see people accepting fatigue, weight gain, and slower recovery is just part of getting older. We've normalized decline. We've been conditioned to believe that the body inevitably wears down, that our metabolism fades, and that our stem cells, the very architects of renewal, stop doing their job. But what if that isn't the natural order at all? What if it's a result of environmental stresses, poor cellular communication, and biochemical switches being turned off over time? What if we could turn them back on? For centuries, the pursuit of vitality has been more philosophy than science, a dream of alchemists and healers. But now, for the first time, biology is catching up with that dream. We can measure aging not by years, but by cellular signals, by how our cells repair DNA, how they respond to stress, how they recycle energy. And these processes, once thought to be fixed, are proving to be remarkably dynamic. They respond to cues, to the food we eat, to the molecules we consume, to how we live. So when I ask, what if aging is optional? I'm not posing a poetic question. I'm speaking about what science is beginning to show us, that the body can, in fact, rejuvenate itself under the right conditions, that stem cells can be reactivated, that fat accumulation isn't inevitable, but a signal of cellular imbalance, and that the secret to reversing this may lie not in complex procedures or synthetic drugs, but in something astonishingly simple, something as familiar as what we drink each day. We're living in an age where the boundaries of biology are being redrawn almost daily. What once sounded like science fiction, regrowing organs, reversing cellular age, reprogramming DNA, is now being explored in laboratories around the world. The pace of discovery is breathtaking, and it's forcing us to rethink what it truly means to be human. For the first time in history, science is not merely extending lifespan, it's extending at health span. The number of years we live with vitality, strength, and clarity. This shift is profound. It means that the question is no longer how long can we live, but how well can we live. Throughout those years, modern research into longevity has revealed something remarkable. The body is not a passive machine that inevitably breaks down. It's an adaptive, self-correcting system capable of astonishing repair. If we give it the right signals, cells are constantly listening to their environment, responding to stress, nutrition, and even the molecules circulating in our bloodstream. Through this lens, aging and regeneration are not opposites. They're two sides of the same biological conversation. When the conversation is disrupted by toxins, poor diet, or chronic stress, the body forgets how to heal. But when we restore that communication, we see regeneration that defies everything we once thought possible. This is where modern science becomes both humbling and empowering. We're learning that the levers of renewal aren't locked away in high-tech devices or genetic engineering. They exist in natural compounds, in the rhythms of our biology, and even in what we consume daily. Science is teaching us that vitality isn't lost with age, it's silenced, and through the right discoveries, the right molecular signals, it can be reawakened. For generations, we've been told that aging and weight gain are inevitable, that as the years go by, our metabolism slows, our cells weaken, and our body gradually surrenders to time. But modern biology is revealing a very different truth. Aging is not a fate written in our DNA. It's a process driven by signals, molecules, and cellular switches that can be influenced. The same is true for fat storage and energy metabolism. These two are not random events or the result of bad luck, but carefully regulated biological systems that respond to how we live, what we eat, and even how we think. When we talk about slowing down, we're not really describing time passing. We're describing a loss of cellular communication. Our cells begin to misinterpret signals, forget how to recycle energy efficiently, and stop repairing themselves. This miscommunication leads to what we call aging. Similarly, when metabolism becomes sluggish, it's not because the body has given up, It's because key molecular pathways that regulate fat burning and energy balance have gone dormant. These systems, once active and responsive in youth, can be reactivated. And when they are, the results can be extraordinary. Science has shown that certain compounds, nutrients, and environmental cues can awaken these dormant pathways. They can reignite fat metabolism, stimulate stem cell activity, and restore the body's natural rhythm of renewal. It's not about defying nature. It's about aligning with it, understanding the language of our biology and learning to speak it fluently again. Aging and weight gain, then, are not permanent conditions but feedback loops. Once we understand how to reset those loops at the cellular level, we no longer have to accept decline as inevitable. We can influence it, reshape it, and perhaps even reverse it. Amidst the vast landscape of scientific discovery, there emerges a revelation so simple yet so profound that it challenges everything we thought we knew about the body's ability to renew itself. Researchers have uncovered a natural compound derived from elements found in the earth and plants that seems to act like a switch, one that can reignite the body's innate power to regrow stem cells and accelerate fat metabolism. This isn't some synthetic formula or engineered chemical. It's a molecule that nature has had hidden in plain sight, quietly waiting for us to understand its potential. The body, as we now know, is not merely surviving each day, it's constantly rewriting its own code through cellular communication. Stem cells are the architects of this process, the master builders that repair tissue, regenerate organs, and maintain youth at the microscopic level. But over time, the signals that activate these stem cells begin to fade. The discovery of this compound represents a way to restore that communication, to wake those silent architects and remind them of their original blueprint for repair and renewal. What makes this so extraordinary is how seamlessly it integrates with the body's natural systems. When consumed in the right form, this compound doesn't force change. It guides it. It communicates with the same pathways that regulate longevity, metabolism, and cellular regeneration. In doing so, it appears to stimulate both the renewal of stem cells and the activation of fat-burning processes simultaneously, a dual effect that harmonizes the body's healing and energy systems. It's not about tricking biology, it's about partnering with it. This natural discovery stands as evidence that the most powerful solutions often don't come from reinventing nature, but from rediscovering how to listen to it. Imagine a drink that doesn't just quench thirst, but communicates directly with your cells, a formula that tells your body to awaken, to repair, to burn energy with youthful precision. At its core, this isn't magic, it's biochemistry. This drink works not by adding something foreign, but by reminding your cells of what they were designed to do. Within each of us lies a network of pathways that regulate renewal and metabolism. Over time, those pathways grow quiet, silenced by stress, toxins, and age. The unique combination of natural compounds in this drink seems to act as a signal, a whisper that reactivates those dormant systems and restores the body's rhythm of regeneration. At the cellular level, the process is astonishing. Stem cells, which serve as the body's repair team, respond to specific molecular cues. When they receive the right signals, they multiply and differentiate into the cells our tissues need most: muscle, bone, skin, nerve. This drink appears to amplify those signals, stimulating the production and activity of stem cells throughout the body. Simultaneously, it enhances the pathways responsible for fat oxidation, essentially retraining metabolism to function as it did in youth. The result is a dual action: repair and energy renewal happening side by side. What makes this even more remarkable is how natural the mechanism is. It doesn't push the body beyond its limits. It restores its lost equilibrium. Every sip engages the body's innate intelligence, the same biological wisdom that knows how to heal a wound or regenerate tissue after an injury. It's a reminder that longevity and vitality aren't achieved through force but through alignment. The science behind this drink suggests that by supporting the body's communication at the cellular level, we can unlock regeneration that once seemed unreachable. Think of the human body as an extraordinary operating system, a network of trillions of cells, each running on precise biological code. When we're young, that system runs flawlessly. Cells repair damage instantly, energy flows efficiently, and metabolism hums at its peak. But over time, it's as if too many background processes start running at once. The system slows, files become corrupted, and the signals that once synchronized repair and renewal begin to fade. What we call aging is, in many ways, the body's version of software lag, a breakdown in communication between the operating code of our cells and the environment they exist in. Now imagine if we could reboot that system, not replace it, but restore it to its original settings. This is the essence of cellular reprogramming, and it's what modern longevity science is uncovering. The body never truly forgets how to heal. It just loses access to that memory. When the right molecular signals are introduced, the system can remember how to function as it once did. Stem cells can be reawakened. Metabolic circuits can be rebalanced. Fat can once again be used as clean energy rather than stored as excess weight. The drink we speak of acts like that reboot signal, gentle but powerful. It sends a cascade of instructions that tell the body to reset, to communicate, to remember its original design. The cells respond, recalibrating themselves to operate with renewed efficiency. It's a process that feels less like intervention and more like restoration. When the body is reminded of its potential, it doesn't need to be forced to change. It knows exactly what to do. The key lies not in fighting biology, but in teaching it to remember its own perfection. For too long, we've been conditioned to think of health as maintenance, something we preserve just enough to avoid illness or slow decline. But what if health could be far more than that? What if it was about rejuvenation, regeneration, and the ongoing renewal of life itself? This is the shift that modern science is inviting us to make, from simply sustaining life to actively upgrading it. The body is not a static structure. It's a living ecosystem that rebuilds itself constantly. Every few years, nearly every cell in your body has been replaced, repaired, or renewed. That means the potential for transformation already exists within you. You're not meant to survive the years. You're meant to evolve through them. When we view health through this new lens, it stops being about avoiding disease and becomes about unlocking potential. Stem cells, those master builders of the body, are not a relic of youth. They were a renewable source of vitality, waiting for the right signal to act. Fat metabolism isn't just about appearance or energy. It's a marker of cellular efficiency, of how well your system communicates with itself. The same pathways that keep you lean are often the ones that keep you young. This perspective transforms our daily habits from chores into opportunities for regeneration. The way we eat, move, and even think becomes a dialogue with our biology. Every nutrient, every molecule, every moment of rest can either suppress or awaken our natural power to renew. When we embrace this, we begin to see health not as a fragile state to protect, but as a dynamic force to cultivate. Rejuvenation isn't a miracle. It's a biological right, one that's been within us all along, waiting to be remembered.